Hello, my name is Mr. Nighttime and welcome back to another video. Whoa! Where today we are going to be reading a book to you. I am going to be reading a book to you called I Survived the Destruction of Pompeii. I don't know. AD, which means after death, 79. So AD means like after the death of Jesus Christ. So this takes place 79 years after Jesus died and sacrificed himself. Thank you, Jesus. This is a 16 chapter book. And yeah, let's get right into it. So I'll read like one chapter every video. So there's gonna be 16 videos about this. August 20. Alright, let's start. Chapter 1. August 24th. AD 79. 79 AD, I should say. 1 p.m. The city of Pompeii, the Roman Empire. Within hours, thousands of people would be dead. The entire city of Pompeii would vanish under more than 30 feet of fiery ash and stone. But first, it was a bright sunny summer day. Shops bustled, kids played ball in the grassy fields, gladiators readied for a bloody match. Page 2. I'm not going to say that every time. Nobody yet knew that the mountain's vicious, I don't know, which loomed over the city was actually a deadly volcano. The mountain had been silent for centuries. A giant green triangle covered with farms and meadows and forests. It was impossible to see the image that lurked under the ground. Rivers of boiling magma swirls of poisonous gases, and any moment the mountain would erupt with devastating fury. 11-year-old Marcus was with his father, Tata. They shouldn't have been anywhere near Pompeii. They were escaped slaves running for their lives from evil men. But then, boom, boom, with two shattering explosions, Vesuvians, I don't know how I'm gonna pause right here. I might say like words wrong, so like I'll try and pronounce them as best as I can, but yeah, I don't know how to say that. Yeah. Alright, continuing. Vesuvius erupted. Thousands of pairs of eyes turned toward the mountains, staring in shock and terror. Black billowing smoke and ash gushed out of the mountain's gaping mouth. Vesuvius roared like a furious beast, breathing smoke and flames into the sky. And then came an even bigger cloud shooting out billions of hot jagged rocks that rained down Pompeii, filling fountains, crushing roofs, and pounding down on people as they tried to flee, screaming in panic. The gods are punishing us! The world is ending! Marcus and Tata knew they had to escape. Any minute, a flaming wave of ash and gases would rush down the mountain, burning everything in its path. But there was too many people in the streets. too many rocks falling from the sky. It was hard to breathe, almost impossible to see. And then there was the strange whooshing sound that came from above. Look out! No. Look out! Tata shouted. Marcus looked up just in time to see a massive flaming boulder falling from the sky. A chunk of fiery rock from deep inside the mountain was heading right for them. I'm going to read chapter 2 to you guys in this video too, because I don't want this to be a short video. Let's see. Okay. August 23rd, 79 AD, the afternoon before Main Street, Pompeii. Marcus walked along, God dang it, I said that wrong, along the dusty main street of Pompeii, carrying a smelly sack of stuffed with his master's dirty laundry. It was early afternoon, and the street was packed with people. Shoppers shifting through bins of pomegranates and melons. Weary slaves collecting water from the fountains, beggars holding out their grimy hands. A snake charmer dozened while his cobra peeked out of the basket, tasting the air with its flickering tongue. Salva? I don't know. Salva? Marcus said in a friendly Latin hello, or hello, I think, for the deadly reptile. If only he had the basket to hide in right now. If only he had a basket to hide in right now. There were no good days for Marcus lately, but this day was sure to be more miserable than usual. It was broiling hot. I think she messed it up. It was supposed to be boiling hot, not broiling. Broiling hot, as the book says. And his ragged tunic was soaked in sweat. Even worse, his master Festus Julius, is that Julius Caesar? I don't know. Wait, no, it's not. Was expecting important guests from Rome this evening, friends of the emperor. This meant even more backbreaking work than usual for Marcus and the other slaves. For days they'd been scrubbing the villa so that the mosaic floors shined like diamonds, so that every silver bowl and goblet gleamed. The guests would arrive by chariot. Men in the flowing white togas, women in silk robes and with painted red lips, jewels flashing from every finger. Tonight there would be a great feast of roasted flamingo, and wild boar, honey-baked mice stuffed with raisins and dates. I don't know what the dates mean. I mean, the different kind of dates, like the food, and lobsters. As big as cats. Lobsters big as cats? Like tigers or something? I don't know. The guests would lounge on silken couches and gorge themselves until they threw up. And then, their stomachs empty, they'd eat more. Tomorrow, Festus would take them all to the gladiator fight at Pompeii's amphitheater. I said it right. from tried to stab one another to death with swords, spears, and daggers. People were coming from all over to see this spectacle, which featured Pompeii's champion fighter. He was a giant man who had lost an eye in one of his early battles. The injury had earned him the fighting name of Cyclops. Wow. After the one-eyed monster from the old Greek tales, like almost all gladiators, Cyclops was a slave who was forced to fight, but he was one of the lucky few and still alive after many battles. Just thinking about these brutal tournaments. Oh my God, horrified Marcus. Suddenly, his whole body was shaking. But wait, it wasn't Marcus who was trembling. It was the earth beneath his feet. Marcus dropped his sack and braced himself against the stone fountain. A huge marble statue of the warrior Achilles looked down on him. Marcus wished he felt as brave as Achilles. But these tremors spooked him. For weeks, they've been shaking the city, putting cracks in the walls and Festus Villa, sending his spoiled dogs into fits of howling. Usually, the quakes were quick, ending just in a few seconds. Most people seemed to barely notice them, but this quake was more powerful than most. The ground shuddered and shook, harder and harder. Up and down the street, the sound of shattering glass and splintering wood and crumbling stone pounded Marcus' ears. Crash, crack, bang! Next page. Vendors cursed as their baskets of fruits and vegetables toppled. A bamboo birdcage fell and bursted open, scattering a flock of tiny white birds or doves into the dusty air. Barrels rolled wildly through the streets, gushing wine as red as blood. Wow. Marcus held tight to the fountain as the water inside it sloshed, splashing all over the rim and soaking his tunic. And then he heard it, a creaking just over his head. Marcus looked up as the massive marble statue of Achilles came crashing down on top of him. That would be scary, real scary for Marcus. So, those are the two chapters I'm going to read to you guys today of I Survived. So, I hope you guys are staying safe at home. And, please like and subscribe. And, yeah, please like and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell button. I made another video before this, but I put it on private, so none of you guys can see it. I'll try and make that to public, but this video is going to be public, so yeah. See you guys in the next one. Peace. Stay safe.